Welcome, Capricorn Aquarius, to your June Astro Dice reading. Hope you friends are doing great out there. Welcome back, all subscribers. Anyone new, welcome, welcome. Okay, guys, let's get straight into this. This is where I take tarot and astrology and make a small horoscope for the month using only one of the 12 houses. So let's get in here. We do have a Mercury retrograde on the 29th, the same day as the full moon in Capricorn. So it's going to be in your own sign. That's one of your own signs. Let's put it that way. It's going to be very exciting. So I'll be getting both of those readings up individually. Okay, so let's get in here, guys. Best house coming out. Well, right off the bat, this Pisces. I mean, look at that. It rolled way over there. Got some Pisces energy coming in with the sun into the second house. Money, career, material. Well, I'm loving this, guys. I mean, right off the bat, your immortal spirit, purpose, and destiny is involved. And this is showing that that light, that sun is shining down on your finances. Gosh. Self-worth, resources, talents, what you truly value. The sun, that's a green light. Go, go, go. Doing it Piscean style over here. The energy is wistful, endlessly loving, compassionate, and forgiving. It confuses and softens to resolve, adding that also that intuition, creativity, and faith. And dreamy behavior. Remember, that's Neptune coming in, so you might even feel like, you know, some things may start becoming a little confusing if it's not 100% intuitive, right? So you could feel like, whoa, hold on, something feels a little fantastical, right? Bringing in that fantasy into the second house. We'll see how this is going to go over here. Your assets, finances, and the things that you value. Focusing on that money, honey, security, recognizing your own worth. Second house, which is Taurian energy, right? Loving that. Okay. So this month really is asking you guys to trust your abilities and invest energy into what genuinely supports your future. There may be some kind of opportunity to improve your finances, develop your talents, or strengthen your confidence, right? So it's kind of like the more you recognize your value, the more opportunities can grow from it, right? It's like, I am a magnet for money, so let's get it, right? Okay, so getting straight into the situation. The situation is taking place in the beginning of the month, the middle of the month, and the end of the month. I'll also be grabbing clarifiers, and then 2 cards at the end to see how the second house is going to roll over into July. We've got the Chariot. Things are a little slow right now. You could feel like in the very beginning of the month, things are a little slow, but you're overcoming some obstacles over here. Knight of Cups, 9 of Wands to the Knight of Cups. To the 10 of Cups. Wow. Wow. Knight of Cups straight to the 10 of Cups. Now you have some kind of offer over here. Something that's going to make you emotional, or they could be coming in emotional. Let's look at this and see what's going on over here. Oh my gosh. So I do feel like you're realizing it's time to stop forcing something that isn't moving. Right, because the Chariot reverse is suggesting that delay, that loss of direction, feeling like the progress that you've been trying to make has stalled. And the harder you push, the less movement you seem to get, right? So it's almost like stop going against the grain. Just let it continue to keep going. The 9 of Wands reverse, that's that exhaustion. It could have been that this situation may have really required more energy than it's worth. And you might even feel that now. It's almost like a rollover from last month, the end of last month to now, where you're really starting to feel that exhaustion. But it's like I'm ready to put my guard down, right? Because I feel like last month, the end of the month, the Nine of Wands was right side up. But now you're really starting to feel it, and you're just like, no more, right? No more. I'm giving too much. So if you do feel like you are still continuing to push in that direction hard, right, that could be where the exhaustion is still there for you. I feel like a lot of this is in the past, and it's kind of like that realization of this is what I was doing. Because then we have the Knight of Cups coming in, bringing in that softer energy, where it's literally saying no more, right? So you may have had some kind of heartfelt conversation with someone, maybe just even within yourself, you know, like, why am I forcing something that obviously has not been working in my second house? I'm pushing too hard. So there's definitely some kind of shift in your perspective. And then the Ten of Cups is coming in, which is a beautiful clarification. You know, because it's saying this is where I'm choosing the peace, fulfillment, and emotional alignment, which is going to lead you to a better outcome than continuing to keep struggling and pushing and forcing, right? Something that's already ran its course. Something that, look, there's only two options here. It either already ran its course and it's done, or it just never got off the ground the way you wanted it to. But either way, you're seeing the other side of it. Like, it's done, right? Because that struggle begins to lose its grip as you're realizing that the more fulfilling path is available. Something else is there. So I can let go of forcing and moving towards what generally aligns and feels right for you, right? So it's kind of like giving this message of, hey, look, Cap Aqua, what brings peace is going to be way more valuable than what requires a constant struggle over and over and over again, right? Maybe something that you were doing in the second house could only get so far, and then it just lost its momentum and just never got back to normal. Okay, getting to the mid-month. You have the Tower, the Knight of Wands in reverse, to the Seven of Cups. There's new doors opening after this Tower. Yeah. Clarifying. Knight of Coins. It's going to be slow. It's going to be slow and steady wins the race. Okay. Well, the mid-month is really bringing in this wake-up call right off the bat, right, with the Tower. Unexpected realizations, change, some kind of disruption that clears away something unstable. It's clearing away all of this unstableness that you've been dealing with. Okay. While it can feel very uncomfortable at first, it just feels like ultimately it's going to reveal what needs to be changed, how it's changing, giving you realizations that it needs to change. I mean, it could, strike and then take a couple of days to do so. But I do feel like overall you're going to feel that. But I also feel like there's this impulsiveness and scattered energy that's coming from that Tower. That's why I said it could take a couple of days, right? To really clear that path. Right? Because you're saying that this approach, this situation in the second house is just not producing the results that you hope for. But like I said, it's going to take a little bit of time. So, I mean, this could happen, we could say, like, just as an example, this could happen like the 12th. You don't really start having the understanding of what really is going on because you're still upset over the turbulence, right, over the destruction of the situation. And then by the 16th or so, right, a couple of days later, 12th to the 16th, and all of a sudden you start realizing that these doors are starting to open for you, that there's multiple options, multiple understandings, finding yourself reassessing your priorities and considering new directions. So it's almost like having that kind of aha moment where it's like, okay, I have the understanding why this fell now. I have an understanding that that wasn't going to build. I understand it ran its course, and now it's not going to do what it needs to do, right? I mean, this is even material things, so you could even be battling with trying to keep a car alive, right? And it's like it's pinching me to death. It's the nickel and dime effect, you know, and even though I keep putting all these new things in it, it's still doing the same thing. It's not lasting very long, right? So, and then all of a sudden the whole car dies, right? Now, you know, kind of reminds me of what happened to me last year. I did this last year. Literally, I was at the car place between my son's car and my car. I did all these things to my car, and then all of a sudden my engine died. Like, you got to be kidding me. So I bought a new engine. Of course, now it's fine, but it was just the whole understanding, like, geez. And then as soon as the engine went out, the carburetor went, or the catalytic converter went out. Like, you got to be kidding me, my friends, right? Like, you couldn't even, right? I was at that place for 5 months. Right, I was sat at the, not even a joke, I sat at the car place for 5 months between my son's car and my car, and it's just like, you have to be kidding, right? Now, I understood that we were going to do a lot of work to his car because it was used, but boy, I tell you, if I'd have known that it was needed that much work, I would have thrown the towel in, but he didn't want to, right? So, I mean, this is almost to that point where it's like, you know, maybe you don't have the money to throw a new engine and a catalytic converter into it. It was just by the great, you know, the grace of God that I did. But, you know, it's just, it comes to a time where it's like, no more. You know, no more. I can't handle anymore. It's done. It's dead. I can't do it. Right? It's penny pinching me to death. So you have the Seven of Cups over here. Like I said, you have this unexpected shift that helps you see what's realistic and sustainable towards what your finances are, what your worth is. What's the possibilities that you need to choose what path and offer long-term stability? What is it that you need to do about this situation? Is this job, did you give it everything you had and then it just couldn't produce anymore? Is it one of those jobs where you had your own business and it could only go so far and then all of a sudden it can't go any further, right? It just died out. So not every opportunity deserves your energy. So it's almost like choose the one that can truly grow because you have more options. Choose what fits this category for you, right? Because not everything is there in this Seven of Cups, right? There's going to be some bad options, some good options, but it's going to be up to you what you can do and what you can't do. And with the Knight of Coins, of course, it's like instead of rushing into the next thing, this wants you to patiently, you know, and consistently, because there's a consistency, right? Look at practical actions, you know, of what needs to be done for you. Slow and steady wins the race. Everybody's story is going to be different on how you're going to take care of things. Right? Is the Tower like, now I'm just going to throw the new engine in, right? Or I'm going to sell this car, get a new car, right? Because something has to give, right? Or I'm just going to get rid of this car, turn it in, whatever it is, get a new car. Get a new job. Start a new job. Whatever it may be. Going to the end of the month. The end of the month, we do have the Three of Wands. The Seven of Wands in reverse. To the Ten of Wands in reverse. So you have all wands. All wands, 2 in reverse, 1 upright. So you're anticipating something. The bottom of the deck going into July, it's saying you have the 2 of Pentacles. to the Queen of Wands. So, courage. Oh, you're going to be looking at your options over here with courage and strength, with a different perspective from the Queen of Wands. Let's get a clarifier over here. Clarify on the situation for Capricorn Aquarius. Four of Cups. Well, the month is definitely ending in this beautiful release. I mean, it's a major release. You're looking ahead, beginning to see new opportunities on the horizon with the Three of Wands, having anticipation of what's to come next as you're shifting your focus from your current frustrations towards this future opportunities. It's like you're seeing this rainbow. You're seeing this light at the end of this dark tunnel. The rainbow after the storm. Not allowing that storm to affect you anymore. Seeing what it is. That's because you had that realization of what you really truly need to do with this situation, however it was. You know, reworking a situation, doing what's right for the situation, or just releasing the situation altogether. So it's like I'm no longer interested in defending myself about this situation or defending this whole situation. I'm just going to get things done the right way. So you're not proving to yourself or fighting battles that are draining you anymore. There's nothing to prove. You're just like, I have the realization. I don't need that anymore. I'm just going to do what's right. You said that over here, though, right? You knew it was going to be either have a lot more productivity that needs to be done or releasing to get to the next level. The responsibilities and pressures and burdens are being pulled down, pulled away. You can see that with the Ten of Wands in reverse. Because you're saying, I'm recognizing not everything is mine that I have to carry. I don't need to carry these frustrations anymore because it just is what it is. So I like the Four of Cups, though, because it's actually a reminder not to become so focused on what didn't work out that you missed what's being offered to you, right? Don't look at the Three of Cups. Go ahead and look at the Ace of Cups, because there's that new opportunity from the Seven of Cups. Or that new thought that you had in your mind, or however it is. It says keep looking at what you had realized, what is to be offered, what new ideas you have. Grab that Ace of Cups, because this freedom is going to come from letting go of this situation, mostly energetically, right? Because it's releasing those struggles, those responsibilities, and then those new responsibilities and possibilities begin to emerge, saying, I got new responsibilities over here that I can do. Looking at different things. Then you have the Two of Pentacles, like I said, to the Queen of Wands, and now we can definitely see how the Two of Pentacles to the Queen of Wands is going to roll over into July, for the 1st of July, or the overall understanding of the Two of Pentacles, because you're saying, I am looking at the different options. I'm weighing my pros and cons. I'm understanding what's going on in the situation, and I'm being flexible about the situation and adapting to what's to come. So there's this adapting, and you're using all this courage and all this strength over here towards this new understanding. It's just this new understanding, my friends. It's very beautiful. You're seeing that there's greater peace and stronger self-worth over here, and seeing what the worth is. Do I really want to, continue on the way over there? Because you know what? I can adapt to new things and getting ready for these other things coming in. It kind of does remind me, though, of getting a car. For those of you who are getting a new car or something, it kind of reminds me of that, though. Because I remember getting the new car, right? I still have my old car, and it's kind of like, and this is years ago before I got the new car, but this reminds me of, getting from that one car, you're comfortable, you know where everything is, you know how to drive, you can, it's just everything's right where everything is. You get into a new car and you're like, okay, right, this is over here, this is over there, and I gotta, you know, get comfortable in a new seat, a new car seat, right? So it's adapting to the new environment of whatever is going on, right? Even if it's a job, right? Because you have to, you know, maybe even adapt to times, new time frames, this, that, and the other, right? Like maybe you were used to having, you know, working from, you know, 5 in the morning to 4 in the evening. You see what I'm saying? Now you're working 7 in the morning till, you know, 6 at night or something. You see what I'm saying? So it's adapting to all these new structures and all these new things that are going on around you. But I like it because you're the Queen of Wands. It's a great confidence, a great place, and a great energy to be in. That nice fiery energy because you're saying, I can do this. Very beautiful, my friends. Until next time, if you guys are looking for a personal reading, you can find all the information in the description area under each and every video, including this one. Love and light. Bye-bye.